Hey everyone, Sunday, time for a new episode of Record Collecting with The Quill. I'm naming this episode Eclectic Finds. I was out yesterday at a local record store, found some really cool stuff, so I thought I'd share with you what I found. But before we start, you know the drill, make sure you subscribe, hit that little notice bell and share with your friends. Well, it's kind of interesting yesterday actually. I bought my daughter a record player for Christmas. She wished for it, so it's not like I forced it upon her. So actually, for once, there was two of us going record shopping, but it got really expensive because, well, you know, she wanted daddy to pay for it, and if you open Pandora's box, I guess you have to take some sort of responsibility as well. But I found some cool stuff myself as well, so shouldn't blame her for it being a little bit expensive. Starting out, as I said, it was a sort of eclectic mix of stuff. But starting out with, I don't think I mentioned them before. I found the two Riot albums I've been searching for: the Narita album and also Born in America. A band I discovered quite recently, actually. I've always sort of the covers, the artwork sort of made it, I thought it was sort of just bad music, but I got the Fire Down Under album and also the Rock City album about a year ago or so. A fantastic early sort of hard rock, heavy metal, great stuff. So I haven't listened to these two yet, but I will sure give them a spin. Great stuff. Next I got some cheap stuff in sort of the bargain bin. Stuff I've been, I don't know. This one, Slade, The Amazing Kamikaze Syndrome. I was enjoying Run Away as a kid. I actually grew up playing the violin, and that was sort of one of the first songs that featured the violin and sort of made it cool. So that was a song that was really important to me as a kid. And it was cheap, and I haven't really listened to it. I'm a big fan of the earlier Slade stuff, but I'll give it a spin. Next one, this one, talking about eclectic stuff. Foreigner, the Agent Provocateur album, mostly known for I Want to Know What Love Is, but I think they made some good stuff, some good sort of really commercial rock pop music. I think the 4 album is fantastic. The album Mutt Lange produced, and some of the other stuff are quite cool as well. Cheap one. Also this one, talking about Cheap Trick, the Lap of Luxury album, also a cheap one. I haven't heard of this one at all actually. Has the hit single The Flame on it, but cheap one as well. Also this one, Nazareth, Razamanaz album. I have this one on CD from before, but cool one, some great stuff. The early Nazareth stuff is great stuff. Sort of forgotten. You always talk about Led Zeppelin and Deep Purple and Black Sabbath, but Nazareth was really big in the 70s as well. It was one of those groups, sort of everyone was a little bit older than me, sort of like my cousins and stuff. They were always raving about Nazareth. I also managed to get some cool stuff by the Allman Brothers Band. Win, Lose or Draw, sort of a later album. I think this was it's fold out as well. Just gave this a spin before recording this. Great one. Always been a big fan of Allman Brothers. And then the album I was most pleased at finding, I managed to find a really good copy of the first album. Really well preserved one. This is great album, and an early American pressing. Some nudity as well, and you have the Allman Brothers down there to the left as well. Such a fantastic album, and I had to shell out a little bit of money for it, but it was definitely worth it to have it. I'm just missing the second one. Also been buying a lot of Neil Young stuff lately. I got into Neil Young in the sort of early 90s, so I bought most of his albums on CD, but now I had to play catch up and buy everything on vinyl, so I managed to find Off the Beach, the Off the Beach album. Great one. Sort of mellower album. This one really cheap as well. Landing on Water. I'm actually a big fan. I really like this weird 80s album. All this, he made some really weird stuff, trance, and this one. I gave him sort of an A for effort. It's not always good, but he constantly continued to sort of experiment and grow. And I think this one, I listened to the A side, I haven't listened to B. I think there's some good stuff on it. This is one you always find in sort of bargain bins everywhere. It didn't sell at all. But I think it has its moments. And also this one, Freedom, Rockin' in the Free World. This was the first one I bought on CD, but a really nice copy on vinyl as well. This one I would crank when I'm finished here. Next one, a couple of old metal album stuff I had also on CD. This one, for whatever reason, I think the first W.A.S.P album, this is a great album. I didn't buy this. I was really into it, but all my friends had it, so I never really bought it in the 80s. We always used to listen to it at some of my friends, and then I bought the second one, The Last Command, when it came out. So finally I bought this one, really nice, was well preserved as well, and this, what a great album this is. So many great songs on this one. He wrote some amazing stuff, Blackie Lawless. Another one, classic album, Saxon, Wheels of Steel. It was one of those bands, they sort of, I never really listened to them when I was younger. I was certainly aware of them, but for whatever reasons, sometimes bands just don't you don't match up with them for whatever reasons. And none of my friends were really into Saxon as well, so but then I bought the live album, got into it, and this one I had it on CD for ages, but I managed to find a good vinyl copy as well, so finally I got it. So I think I have mainly I think now I have all the stuff you need with Saxon, but this one is a great album. And last one's sort of a lot of heavy metal stuff, but had you shown the previous two albums, Saxon and W.A.S.P, and then sort of mixed it up with this one in the 80s, Jean-Michel Jarre, the Oxygen album. I'm not really certain about the pronunciation. I took French when I was in school, but I'm quite fond of sort of early electronic when they still used sort of analog synthesizers and stuff. I think it's sort of kind of meditative in a way, and I like his earlier stuff, the Oxygen and the Equinox album as well, and some of the other stuff, Suluk and all that stuff. Whenever you're in that kind of mood, these albums are perfect, but sometimes you just want to crank a little bit of W.A.S.P, and sometimes you just want to chill out and you listen to this stuff. So you gotta have lights and shades in your life, don't you? Well, that's the stuff I got, and then my daughter bought a bunch of stuff as well, but stuff I'm not really that fond of, like Eminem and stuff, so she will have to do her own record collecting whenever she feels the desire to do so. But that's it for now. Keeping it a little bit short. Next week, I think I will have to skip next week. I'm gonna be out of town next weekend, so hopefully I'll be back in 2 weeks. But until then, make sure you subscribe. As I said, hit the little nose bell, share with your friends, and also follow the QUILL on social media. It's the QUILL Sweden. And also pick up this one. It was out Friday, the vinyl version on Live New Borrow and Blue, our latest compilation album. It's a limited edition, as it says here on the sticker, limited. So get it while it lasts. I heard a lot of people getting back to us enjoying this one. So make sure you get it before it's sold out. Yeah, that's it for now. See you all again. Hopefully, as I said, in 2 weeks. I think I'll have to skip, as I said, next Sunday. That's it for now. Cheers. Bye.